Well, hello, everyone. It's good to see all of your beautiful faces. How are you?
Hi, everybody.
Hi. So we're back together again, and we're here talking about different things. And today's topic is a fun one, I guess, right? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how fun this is.
We'll see. Yeah.
We're going to be talking about the comparison trap. Have any of you, what comparison trap means, what that means to me, to you, and how we deal with it. So why don't you tell me, Rosie, what causes you to compare yourself to others?
I think a lot of times just the feeling of not being enough cause me to compare. And I tend to do that, or I've caught myself doing that with, worship leaders, where I feel like, why can't I sing like that? Or why can't I lead that way? But I've had to come to terms with, you know, I am me, and God has made me unique. And the way I lead worship is different than anybody else. So I have fallen into that trap, but I've also had to pull myself out of that, because then that really affects, my way of worshiping. And on top of that, um, what am I saying about God?
Mm.
I'm, you know, I'm comparing my abilities with other worship leaders, and that halts my growth, my giftings. So I've had to really just pull away from that, and remind myself that I have my own style, and I can't compare myself to
So
anyone else. But
it starts with you feeling like you're not enough.
right.
So, like, feeling like we're not enough, like, does that happen to either of you, Daisy or Jeanette?
I think for me, I know that it has happened for me whenever I feel like um, inadequate in some way, or just like I don't measure up. Yeah, that has happened to me in the past, where like theater or something is something I'm doing. Because okay, so surprise everybody, I'm not Wonder Woman, I'm not Superwoman, but sometimes I like to think that I am. And so I think like, oh, I should be able to do everything, right? And so when somebody else is doing something that I feel like, oh man, but they do that so much better, then that's
Mhm.
me comparing myself. But it could be that I have a strength that they wish that they could do or something. So I know I've caught myself comparing myself in theater. Um, and even at work, you know, I work in customer service, and sometimes the way somebody does something a lot quicker or something, but it could be, hey, they've been there a lot longer, or my strength is customer service or something. So
I
Yeah.
know, I do that, and there are similarities between what Rosaline said and what Jeanette has said. I do that when I'm in those seasons of feeling less than.
Mm.
I do that. I'm a teacher, and I preach, and I live. Uh, my daughters are married now and out of the house, but we at one time, there were four of us who did the same things. We taught and we preached, and so I remember at one point just getting really sad at the fact that I thought, well, I got to raise two great teachers and preachers, and I'm married to a great preacher, teacher. So it's okay. And I almost came to this place like, it's okay. I'll just step back and I'll promote, everybody else. Because I want to do that anyway. They're my children, and they're,
Yeah.
my husband. But God had to like really a big work in me, and took me through what I thought was an exaggerated time of people either emailing me or stopping me and saying, you know, when you were preaching at the retreat about this, I still carry that, you know, that just changed my life. Or, you know, it took like I said, a concentrated time of that, you know, since I know that God needed to overwhelm me with those things. So that I would notice, you know, and I did. And at that point, you know, I didn't come out wearing a Wonder Woman cape, you know, saying, okay, you know, this is who I am. But it started to make me really spend time thinking about my own gifts and what they mean to the kingdom. So, and then I went to a service. My husband was preaching at another church, and I went to a service, and the pastor, she prophesied over me. And she, during that very same time, look at God, right? Because she prophesied over me, laid hands on me, and said exactly what I needed to hear. Daisy, this is not over. The women of the next generation need to hear from you. So you need to speak up. And that was it. It was like, okay, okay, Lord, I got you, you know. So that's been my journey in this in the last couple of years.
You know, can I add something? Because I was thinking about what you were saying, Daisy. And, you know, I'm an elementary school teacher, right? And, you know, I'm a seasoned teacher, but then you have new, young teachers that start, and they come with all these great ideas, and they come with like all this advanced technology. And I'm just like, so then I find myself comparing myself. I'm not good enough. Oh my gosh, I'm not as advanced. And I have to stop and say, no, you have years of experience, and and remind myself, God has placed you in this position for a reason. But the beautiful part is when you have parents telling you, oh maestra, oh teacher, mi niño está haciendo bien, like my child is doing so well. And and I know it's the Lord using them to remind me, you're here because I placed you here.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's beautiful.
I would have loved for you to have been my kid's teacher.
I would tell her that all the time. I was like, go teach Roman, go teach.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, comparison can cause us to feel a lot of different emotions. It can make us feel like we're not enough. It can make us feel like we're inadequate, that we are old time and not new. Comparison can, I don't know, weigh us down with a lot of heaviness, maybe even shame, you know, or guilt that we're not doing it enough, we're not going harder, doing more. Like I look at Instagram and I see all these moms, and they're like going to different vacations every other weekend and taking their kids hiking every night, and you know, getting their kids all dressed up, and all their kids look great with iron shirts and, you know, clean pants and shoes. And you know, they have like 6 kids, and I have 2, and I can barely get them to put on their flip-flops, you know. And so, you know, we have those times where, like with me, I just have to like walk away from certain things, like Instagram. Like I have to just like not look at Instagram for a while, or unfollow some of the ones that make me feel like I'm not enough or inadequate, because it's not feeding my soul. It's making me feel bad about myself. So, you know, sometimes that's how I feel that I get trapped, is when I'm engaging in things that I know bring up these issues of comparison, you know, like Instagram, or, you know, allowing myself to hang around with people that I know I feel inadequate around, you know. So those little things, you know, you have to either go in knowing, okay, I'm not going to let myself get trapped in this, and I'm just going to enjoy, you know, where I am at the moment, or I'm just going to stay away from those things because they don't bring joy. They don't bring, you know, the peace. And so that's when I feel like even when I'm comparing myself to others, I know I'm in control of my thoughts, because you have to like take your thoughts and control them no matter where you are, what you're doing. And that's
Hold
one
them
of the biggest
captive.
things.
Yeah.
Hold them captive. Yeah.
To the cross.
And
Yeah.
what did you say, Jeanette?
Take them captive to the cross.
Take them captive to the cross, throw them down on the floor and stomp on them.
Right.
Those stinking thoughts.
You know, I'm glad that you mentioned Instagram, because it's one of the counseling techniques that I use when a client is stuck in comparing themselves. They're never good enough, especially if that's been their childhood. You know, if they've grown up in that type of pattern household where they never can do enough to satisfy a parent or a grandparent. So I use that as one of the approaches, one of the methods is just to shut down social media in general for 48 hours and then come back. Let's look at this together. And then the other thing that I'm reminded of is that just a few days ago, I'm on Instagram or Facebook, I don't remember which one, but someone was, you know, I stopped at a picture because I thought, wow, she looks so amazing. You know, none of you, not that you don't look amazing, but it was not your pictures that I saw. And I realized that it was a filter. I'm like, but I just saw her. You know, she didn't look like that. And then there was some kind of caption, you know, where they try to get you to use the same, their advertising.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I realized it was a subtle filter. It wasn't a, you know, very stark difference, but it was difference enough where I'm like, wait a minute, she's my age. Why is she looking like that? You know, so anyway, we have to be aware of those as well.
You know, I wanted to add, I read something that said that when we compare ourselves, it becomes a thief of truth, of what God says about who you are. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. And I also read that it's a good thing to detox from social media, you know, and the way you stop that comparison trap is, you know, detox from social media, but also have a grateful heart, you know, keep a grateful gratitude journal to help you, you know, and just, you know, take a hold of your past and smile. And I was just, you know, reading up on it, and I thought, wow, this is great. A great reminder.
Yeah.
A great reminder to just say, you know, get to the point where you just say, you know what, that's enough. It's enough. Enough is enough with social media. Enough is enough with me looking at other people. I have to remember that it doesn't, you know, that it's none of my business what others say about me.
Right.
It's only my business what God says about me. And so, you know, moving forward, sometimes we just have to continually just say enough is enough. You know, and capture those thoughts
and, you know,
down. Is there ever a time, do you think, that comparison can be healthy? Let's have this on a happy note.
Well, I think that if it's something that somehow kind of motivates you to move forward or motivates you to make a change, hey, we can all work on things, you know. So like if someone is, let's say, you know, they've been on a new journey of a health journey or something, and you know that, man, I haven't been doing too good recently or something, and they're doing something that kind of motivates you and encourages you. Like, let's say, you know, when you said about the hikes, there is this girl that I follow on Instagram, and it's actually someone I know, but like she's always posting different places that she's hiking and things like that. And, you know, some of them are places that more than likely I'm not going to be going anytime soon, but it does encourage me to, oh, I want to go out there in nature more. I want to go for more walks and things like that. So I try by that has encouraged me, and I have gone on more walks and more things, you know, trying to discover new places to walk, because I get bored really easily with, you know, my surroundings. So I'm like, where else can we go walk? So things like, as long as it helps you and encourages you to do something better, then I think there can be some healthy, comparison. As
I
long
was
as
going to
it's,
ask you, Jeanette, because like if
Mhm.
you have to watch a lot of theater to, you know, move into that space where you're actually producing and directing theater, so you have to do some kind of comparison, like, oh, I could, I could do that, or I could even do that better, or I could, like, so you have to be in that kind of mode,
yeah. I think for me, actually this week, as a matter of fact, this week I was, I haven't been able to, I shouldn't say I haven't been able to. I am currently not directing a show, but I follow a lot of different community theaters and things like that. And so I've been seeing like their um, marketing and their different things for shows that are coming up, promos and stuff. And I'm like, "Ugh, I'm not doing a show, so I need to,
capture the thought.
yeah, capture the thought and be like, okay, go to the
Yeah.
class right now, young lady. Why does she have to be a lady? Boy, go to the class. um, but let's just say thing, go to the cross.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah, I have to like turn it off or here's the thing, or I can do something about it and say, okay, right now I'm not, but what can I work on for the future? What can I do? Because it is something that I love and that I'm passionate about. So I should do something about it
Oh,
and
yeah,
have that motivate me.
right. Yeah, and it motivates you. Or like get a pad of paper, like, and if something does like like you said, motivate you, you get a pad of paper. I don't know, just do people carry around pads and papers anymore? Get your phone, put it on
Get your notes out.
and then like, type in, I want to go to that, I want to go to that mountain, or I want to put that, in one of my plays, or I want to, oh yeah, that was a good idea, working with the kids in that particular way, or, in teaching, I don't think you can take anybody else's teaching styles, but like your teachers need to have their own styles, I feel, but
Well, one of the things that comes up is, if we are believers of God can do all things, that nothing is impossible for God, why not use what he reveals to us, which might be what other people are doing in theater, what other people are doing when they're preaching or teaching or leading worship. Why not take those things as God is just trying to show me what he can make possible, what he can do if I just refocus and capture those thoughts. What can he do? But I'm going to have to release myself into him to be able to do that.
I think comparison can be positive if it causes change for the better,
yes.
because we can all learn something new, a new strategy, a new style, whatever. But if it's going to cause something positive, then it's a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, even going to the Bible, you can compare yourself to the Proverbs 31 woman. We can find a place to compare ourselves to anything, right? But I feel like, there has, like Rosie said, a place to create something positive. Like Jeanette said, someplace that gives us a motivation, and like Daisy said, that draws us closer to the Lord. Like if those are things that we're noticing that in comparison to our lives is drawing us to those things, then yes, God, I think comparison can always be healthy. Well, we can find a way to make it healthy, right? Or bad, but either way. One thing I wanted to leave us with, if nobody else has anything else to say, when we were together in Florida, we would get up early and go to see the sunset every morning.
The sunrise.
The sunrise, yeah, sorry. We would go to the beach because we're on the East Coast, and we would go see the sunrise. And that was my favorite thing. Well, there was a lot of favorite things, but I really loved going to see the sunrise. And you know, you look at the sunrise, or even at night, the sunset, and you see how beautiful God paints the sky, and you know how beautiful the beach looks and how it's endless, and you know, you're just in awe of his beauty and of his majesty and how he does things and makes things just look so beautiful, right? And we look at these things and we're just in awe. But the same God that created those sunsets and those sunrises is the same God that created me. And I criticize myself so much. How can I criticize the beautiful creation that he did in me? And when it was him that created it, you know? So we have to look at all the beauty that God does in all things.
And that reminds me of the scripture in Psalms 139. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yes.
Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well.
Yes.
So,
Do we know it full well?
yes.
Yes, definitely.
Well, ladies, it was a pleasure. And I really enjoy all of these times to talk to you and just get to know and understand each one of you a little bit better. Have a fantastic day, and we'll talk soon.
You too. Be blessed.
Bye.
Bye-bye.